Testing. Testing. All right, this is working. All right, hello. Welcome to this microtalk. So, Blake Andrews at Snakes Andrews made a list of 200 games that I won't play even if you ask me to. If the developer of any of these games retweets my list, I'll take them off my list. Okay, um, so someone put in a microtalk, and um, I'm measuring the success of this list by how many microtalks it is referencing. Right now, I have one success, and then I said I don't have any planned, but I'll try to come up with one. I was gonna do it tomorrow, but because I'm busy today. But I figured I might, since it's microtalk, I could make it done real quick. So this is for the list jam, hosted by Kolio Kin. That's now over. It's a bunch of lists of different things, whatever. I have one. I'll show you at the end. Um, Plug myself. So here's a list of 200 games I won't play. Yeah, this is based off the notion that there's culturally significant games that everyone tells you that you need to play, but obviously you don't have to. You could do whatever you want with your free time. And Blake argues that their time is more valuable than like having this cultural insider knowledge of what's supposedly important, right? And yeah, it's pretty interesting because of the fact that you need to quote unquote like keep up with things and learn about the hot new thing, right? Sometimes I think it's a good thing to keep up with things, but most of the time it's just whatever. It's just for cultural. God, I was gonna say cultural capital, which is a BS way of. Um, it's an art school term that I really dislike. But yeah, there's a bunch of games, both in the indie and AAA arena, that are supposedly you have to play this in order to really understand what's going on. And yeah, I think I disagree with that entirely. So something that I've done is between about 2007 to 2015, I didn't play any new games at all. Period. And I missed out on a lot of stuff, and it's interesting because I've um yeah, because like I was purposely that like rebel, like I don't like things that are popular. I went through that phase. Now I don't really care. So now I'm discovering things I um that I missed out on that I'm actually interested in. Like for example, I'm playing Dark Souls because I played Demon Souls because my friend said, "Hey, you should try out Bloodborne," because he suggested I try out Hollow Knight. It took me 10 hours to get into Hollow Knight. I don't have the patience for most things, but because it's a really cute artistic style and they're bugs and they're anthropomorphic, I stuck it out and I'm happy I did. And so that got me into like, and then my friends, oh yeah, you should try the um, Dark Souls series because he knows me very well, and for him to suggest that after years of saying don't do it, um, but since I enjoyed Hollow Knight, um, he said, yeah, I should try it out. So I did, and I'm really happy I'm doing that right now. But there's a lot of things that I really don't care about, like Telling Lies and Her Story. I got Her Story in a bundle, but I don't really want to do hours of searching through FMV videos, right? Like, and 99% of JRPGs, I just dislike turn-based combat more than most things in this world when it comes to video games, as well as like strategy management games. That just seems like homework to me. So like there's a lot of games that are popular or whatever that are important that um, I think would be a waste of time for me to play. Also, the fact that like mentioned, I think in the last paragraph or somewhere around here, or maybe not the last paragraph, like some of the I can't find where it is. Uh, okay, I should just do VR. Oh, maybe it wasn't in here. Okay, so yeah, Blake also says something like, yeah, I don't always have time or I mean money to like buy a PS4 or VR headset to play games. And yeah, I totally agree with that. I think doing this is definitely sort of a capitalist thing as well, sort of saying like you have to buy into the system of like both cultural capital and literal capital. So one thing that I love doing is I'm currently playing a PS3. That's my besides PC, that's my system. So it's really cool. I get to buy games for super cheap, and I'm buying from the video game store instead of like a big publisher. And it feels good to do that. And I'm way behind the curve, but I don't care. I'm enjoying it at my own pace, right? Um, like some of these games, I'm like, oh, maybe you really should play inside. But I think the term "should" is a very damaging thing, because that has this sort of force to it, right? I think it's more helpful to think about, maybe you might like inside because of these shaders or because this I think this puzzle reminds me of something you've done, you know, and instead of saying like, oh, you should play this, because it's the same thing when people told me, um, oh, you should watch this TV show. Well, I don't want to watch TV because it's too much time, and I'd rather be watching skate videos instead. So, yeah, I think it's really important to to forge your own path and create your own sense of importance of what's important. So this is so I feel weird about doing this, but I think it really ties into what I'm doing. Is in this list jam, I'm doing some sort of video game history. Um, and what this is, I'm I'm creating my own video game history. By my own, I mean that several people, where I have video games put in this list that aren't necessarily important to um, the whole cultural sphere, I guess you could say, and it said games that are important to individuals for um, their own individual stories. Like for example, Gemini Man stage. I don't have the whole of Mega Man, just the stage, because specifically artistically, it really blew my mind when I was a kid. Like, oh, you can like, there's all these weird fantasy, colorful things, um, or like Hexen 64. I thought this fighter character is extremely sexy, and maybe he made me gay. I don't know. But yeah, oh, there's another entry that I didn't see. Really cool. So yeah, I think it's important to sort of forge your own history based on what you want, and maybe keep in mind what other people suggest. So I think it's really important to ignore strangers on the internet as far as what you should play. If you want suggestions, go to your friends or go to a trusted source like Warp Door or Pursuing Pixels or something like that. So yeah, that's about it for the microtalk. Thanks for watching. I hope you get a look at a flower this week. Bye.